Topic for lesson 3.7 is percent of change. We'll find the percent of increase and decrease and solve problems involving percents of change. They ask, how can percents be used to describe growth over time? Phone companies began using area codes in 1947. The graph shows the number of area codes in use in different years. The growth in the number of area codes can be described by using a percentage of change. So if we look at, let's find the percentage of change from 1947 to 1999. So if we find the difference and then divide by the original, we're going to get our percent change. So the difference was 201 divided by the original was 84. We get a percent change of 239%. That's a large percent change. When an increase or decrease is expressed as a percent, the percent is called a percent of change. If the new number is greater than the original number, the percent of change is a percent of increase. If the new number is less than the original, the percent of change is a percent of decrease. State whether the percent of change is a percent of increase or a percent of decrease, then find the percent of change. Well, I am pretty confident that 40 is more than 32, so that would be a percent of increase. And then they ask us next to find the percentage of change, so we need to take the amount of change, which in this case was an increase, divided by the original. So our amount of change is 40 minus 32 is 8, divided by the original was 32. So if we divide 8 divided by 32, I get 0.25 or a 25% increase. Now I just divided 8 by 32, changed it to a decimal, then changed my decimal to a percent by multiplying by 100. We could also make it look like a proportion. Percent is part of our whole, so we could have 8 over 32 is the same as R for rate over 100 and do our cross products. And we would get 800 equals 32R, divide both sides by 32. And we get R equals 25, which is the exact same answer with a different method. Okay, for part B, they ask us if this is a percent increase or decrease. 4 is less than 20, so that is a decrease. And we're going to use that same formula. We want amount change, so in this case, 16 over the original this time was 20. And if I divide that out, I get 0.8 or 80%. Or we could use the proportion method. So 16 is to 20 as R is to 100. When we cross multiply, we're going to have 1600 equals 20R. Divide both sides by 20. And once again, we get R equals 80%. You don't have to do it two ways. I'm just giving you options. The price of a used bookstore pays to buy a book is $5. The store sells the book for 28% above the price that it pays for the book. What is the selling price of a $5 book? They used S for selling price, so the selling price minus 5 would be their percent change, and the original was 5. So now we can do cross products. So 100 times S is 100S minus 5 times 100 is 500 equals 5 times 28. I'm going to add 500 to both sides. And so I have 100S equals, 5 times 28 was 140. So 640. Divide both sides by 100. And I have S equals $6.40. Okay, this one's just a simple sales tax problem. A meal for two at a restaurant costs $32.75. If the sales tax is 5%, we wish, change 5% to a decimal, what is the total price of the meal? So if we multiply that, we'll get just the tax. And of course, they're going to round to the nearest penny, so it would be $1.64. And then we need to add that back to the $32.75. And we get $34.39 with tax. A dog toy is on sale for 20% off the original price. If the original price of the toy was $3.80, what is the discounted price? So we're going to take it times 0.2 to find out the amount of the discount. So they're going to get 76 cents off. Wow. We subtract that from our original was $3.80, so they will end up paying $3.04, of course, before sales tax, because Uncle Sam is always going to want his piece of the pie. The proportion amount change divided by original amount is R over 100 is used to find percents of change. That was our big idea.